The #1 team in the country, a perennial powerhouse, last year's national champion, and a Hall of Fame coach. Play today in honor of the legacy and vision of the late Jim Valvano and his dream of defeating cancer.
There are 3 things we all should do every day. Number one is laugh.
You should laugh every day. Number 2 is think. You should spend some time in thought.
And number 3 is you should have your emotions moved to tears.
I want to help kids because it's scary.
I want to be a nurse because I want to help people.
It's so important to know where you are. How do you go from where you are to where you want to be?
You have to have an enthusiasm for life. You have to have a dream, a goal.
You have to be willing to work for it, to keep your dreams alive in spite of problems, whatever you have.
The ability to be able to work hard for your dreams to come true, become a reality.
Refuse to let it beat me.
I'm a fighter.
I'm a survivor.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
We are in Raleigh, North Carolina, the RBC Center for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic. A couple of great runs on display today, folks. First up, number 2 Tennessee taking on number 1 Duke. Clash of a couple of titans in women's college basketball. Then the second half of our double dip, it'll be number 5 UConn taking on NC State. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones along with Dan Myers. Thanks for coming aboard. Doris Burke joins us courtside in just a bit. You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that nothing great in life is accomplished without enthusiasm. Now, and Jimmy Valvano, our late colleague at ESPN, was all about attacking every day with enthusiasm. This 14 format, a reflection of the enthusiasm he had for women's basketball.
It really is, Mark, and really to keep the dream alive. The inaugural tournament for women, and all 4 coaches jumped at the chance. Each team has been touched by cancer in one way or another, and these 4 top coaches couldn't wait. And it all started with Kay Yao, who coached 10 years with Jimmy V here.
This place has a real buzz. You hear the band playing. They've been playing for half an hour already. Speaking with some of the players before the game, they kind of downplayed the 1-against-2 thing, and I'm not buying it one bit.
Now, the coaches are kind of downplaying it too. This is a good learning experience. Duke number 1, Tennessee number 2. Tennessee's been involved with a lot of number 1 and 2 games starting off the season. Look for it to be a very intense game.
When you talk about Duke and Tennessee, you're talking about several Player of the Year candidates and All-Americans on display. Let's take a look at our Star Watch. Beard and Jackson, a couple to keep an eye on today.
Quinn Jackson coming up with a big game against Oklahoma, the senior, scoring a career-high 29 points. Look for consistency this year from her. And then Alana Beard, really a Player of the Year. Does it all, versatile, can play virtually every position. She is so exciting to watch.
Duke already facing a little bit of adversity, and for more, let's go courtside to Doris Burke.
Thanks, Mark. Just 5 seconds into Duke's first exhibition, they lost their freshman All-American second leading scorer from a year ago, Monique Curry. Now 4 straight recruiting classes that ranked in the top 4. They believe that they can absorb the loss of Monique Curry and still compete for the national title. The Lady Vols anxious to test that theory, Mark.
All right, and depth really not a problem for the Duke Blue Devils as they try to take one more step along the championship road, and the Tennessee Volunteers ultimately will be standing in their way. We'll be right back.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com. The largest assortment of officially licensed fan gear from more than 500 colleges. Every conference, every team. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book, and as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's annuity do's and don'ts for baby boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-823-2549. That's 800-823-2549.
Wes, it's starting to feel like a routine, man. I'm kind of liking this.
It's go time.
Situations like this where you really have to come together for the same cause.
Hopefully that moment was a step forward. I spoke for all 100 guys on our team, all our backgrounds put together.
To have the longest win streak in Division I sports, that's pretty special, I think.
You guys got to have me on more often, man. You got to start coming together.
We really have a loaded show.
Tucker and Durham, weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ACCN.
We are back in Raleigh, North Carolina, the RBC Center for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Number 1 Duke taking on number 2 Tennessee. What a matchup as we take a look at the starting lineups. You see any key matchups there, Ann?
Well, Kara Lawson, the other senior for Tennessee, will be very tough in the backcourt, guarding Alana Beard, but then look for Tillis. Tillis, a big player inside for Duke. Isis can shoot from the outside those threes, and Tennessee will have to watch and stopping her there.
Isis Tillis, the 6'4" junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's take a look at the coaches on the sidelines today. Pat Summitt in her 29th season at Tennessee, a real fixture on the sidelines, and certainly no stranger to the big stage.
And the all-time winningest coach in women's basketball, looking for 790. She's one game ahead of Jody Conrad at this point, and she has just been tremendous as far as the women's game. And Gail Gestenkors, in her 11th season, 4-time ACC Coach of the Year, been to the Final Four twice in 4 years. Just shows you how well she is doing as far as the recruiting and getting such a program like Duke up with the men.
Our officials for today's game, Sally Bell, Joe Cunningham, and Tommy Salerno. As we get set to run one here at the RBC Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. The inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac.
Look for an up-tempo game. Both these teams like to put points on the boards, but Tennessee, maybe not as big as Duke inside as far as physical, but they got out-rebounded by Oklahoma. The 2 weeks that Pat Summitt has been working her team has been strictly on rebounding.
Carol Lawson out front for the Volunteers. Here's Moore, nice crossover. Moore got into the lane and made it count.
Well, the one thing that Pat Summitt talked about with Lori Moore, her height advantage against Crapo. Crapo only 5'5", taking the ball inside. She takes such good shot selections too.
Cross court to Crapo on the baseline. Passes it out to Beard. Nice pass inside to Matashowski. Beard now from downtown. Off the mark, Moore with the rebound.
Well, Gail Gestenkors knows that Lindsey Harding, that 5'8" freshman, might have to come in early for Vicky Crapo as far as the height advantage is concerned.
Out of bounds, it'll be Duke ball.
Gail Gestenkors has worked with her team defensively. Alana Beard, probably the best point guard in the game right now, she said, as far as this game is concerned, would be handling the ball an awful lot.
That's the three go, a little bit short. She's missed both field goal attempts so far.
Right before the game, Gail Gestenkors was saying that we've got to go inside. We've got to establish the inside game, but they've taken 2 outside shots.
Lawson on Beard. You would think that they would run a couple of different defenders at her today. Tennessee with some pretty good depth. Tillis tries to pass it inside, and it's knocked away by Jackson. Back the other way for the balls.
Well, right now, Duke really doesn't have a low post player to set up inside, and that would be Tillis, but she likes to face up the basket. Carol Lawson talked to her before the game. She said, you know, I've worked a lot on my outside shot, but it's really the leadership and more as a team player that I worked on this summer on my game.
And she comes up with a pinch up court to Jackson on the move. Gwen Jackson, no good. Matashowski with the rebound for Duke. Interesting to note that Lawson, arguably the team's stellar player, star player, was the first one out earlier today, working on her shot from the baseline, way off the mark and short.
Now Duke looks tight. They played the other night against East Carolina. They won 101-46, and they looked great. They got really it out of their system to play another team, but you know, this is a completely different animal playing Tennessee.
Duke has yet to score. 2.5 minutes into the ball game.
I think all the teams coming into this tournament, I mean, one, it means so much to play under the name Jimmy V and what you're playing for, but then the excitement, really, the atmosphere of the Final Four in these two teams.
Here's Shayna Mosh, and she converts the left-handed layup off the steal by Beard.
So many people talk about Alana Beard, what she does offensively. It's really her defense that creates everything else. And she is so good, not only on the ball, but off the ball. She just hurts you everywhere on the defensive end.
Jackson goes inside, and they double-team Jackson on the post. Three-pointer on the way from Lawson. It's off the mark. Out of bounds to Duke.
And that was the double team by Alana Beard. Good shot by Lawson. She was wide open. But on the play before, you see the quick hands putting a lot of pressure on Carol Lawson, who likes to handle the ball, and Gail Gestencourt that knows that Alana Beard, throughout most of the year, will be guarding the guards.
Nice crowd on hand here at the RBC Center. This all in honor of raising money for cancer research in the name of the late Jimmy Valvano and the V Foundation. Out of bounds, it'll be Duke ball. Tennessee leading 5-2, just underway. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers and Doris Burke courtside.
Well, in order to donate too, just call 1-800-4-JIMMY-V.
The Foundation has raised millions of dollars since 1993. Tillis goes cross court. On the baseline, Matuszewski converts it for two. Duke patient that time, and they made it big.
Matuszewski and Mosh, both seniors this year, they're put into the starting lineup.
Tillis gambled. Here's Robinson. Got all the way into the paint. And a foul underneath. One thing that I noticed so far is Tennessee seems to be trying to get it down low. They have an advantage in length.
Well, they've got tall players. They don't have the thick bodies, and Nancy Lieberman a couple weeks ago talked to Pat Summitt about really the dominant post players inside, and they really haven't had those kind of players. But Gwen Jackson is as good as anybody inside with her size. At 6'2", she is quick to the basket, and she is strong.
Jackson had 29 and 8 in a convincing win against Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. Crapel into Mosh off glass. Got her own rebound and rejected inside. There's that length. And Lawson now on the move for the balls. Jackson for three. Brittany Jackson knocks it down, and it's 10-4 for Tennessee.
Brittany Jackson shot over 38% from three-point range last year. Started 5 games, but because of her shooting ability is out there.
Just underway here in the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Tennessee, number 2, leading number 1 Duke by a score of 10-4. We'll be right back.
I'm Doug Hirsch. You may already know that GoodRx can help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions. Unfortunately, many Americans can't get to a doctor right now. The news is that for many issues, you can see a doctor online. It's easy. Just go to GoodRx.com, and with a few clicks, you'll be treated by a licensed medical professional, all from the comfort of your own home. Visits are confidential and affordable. Need a prescription? Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new Copperfit compression gloves with sure grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that supports relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in provide a strong, non-slip grip.
They relieve my pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It works.
Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-658-8753 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone. I love this glove.
Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
The Jimmy V Women's Classic is presented by Pontiac, Fuel for the Soul, and in part by Subway, fresh made sandwiches on fresh baked bread. Subway, eat fresh.
Back in Raleigh, North Carolina, let's go courtside to Doris Burke.
Well, Mark and Gail Gessencore's huddle, she talked about the offensive end of the floor, trailing by 6. She says there's too much standing and watching offensively. Everybody's standing around and watching the point guard, Crapel, and in particular, Alana Beard. The way Tennessee pressures the basketball and gets out in passing lanes, she wants backdoor cuts. They worked on it hard in practice yesterday. Look for Duke to start going backdoor. Mark.
All right, Doris, and Duke will inbound from midcourt.
And a lot of that has to do with, as Doris Burke talked about at the beginning of the game, with Monique Curry being out. She established such an inside presence and a physical force, being aggressive inside for this Duke team. Start of this game, they're not having that.
Most of their shots coming from the perimeter. Another miss from outside. Lindsey Harding, a talented 5'8" freshman, checking into the ball game for Duke.
But the thing is, with the kind of pressure that Tennessee puts on you, you've got to be able to set some good picks, too. And right now, Duke is not doing that. Alana Beard getting called for setting an illegal pick at that time. You can look for the back doors and everything, but you got to wait till the defense is right on top of you. And right now, Tennessee is playing the passing lanes more so than getting a body right up on the offensive player.
Duke with 4 starters back from a season ago, as is the situation with Tennessee. Jackson swings it cross court to Lawson.
Now Duke is a team that'll play zone also, and you see Lindsey Harding, the freshman, in, and she just didn't rotate over quick enough to Lori Moore.
Lori Moore with another three-pointer. She has 5. And Tennessee out of the box quickly at 13-4.
So much was talked about Pat Summitt going to Harry Coretta from Villanova as far as getting his offense, the motion offense. And actually it was from Raleigh Massimino at Villanova, and that motion offense. They used to run the triangle offense here at Tennessee, and a lot of that had to do with catchings and holes caught, creating opportunities for them to score. But with this motion offense, spread offense, it creates opportunities for everybody.
Harding quickly up court to Tillis for the layup. And Duke getting to the quick way. They're down by 5. That's her first bucket of the ball game.
Isis Tillis led Duke in rebounding last year with 8. She only had 2 the other night against Eastern Carolina, but she has a tendency, one of the best big players in the country, to run the floor as well as she does.
Speaking of backdoors, what a backdoor pass and cut and conversion by Lawson. She has 5, so she's done it from the perimeter end by going backdoor inside. Tennessee leading 15-8. Here in the inaugural Women's Jimmy V Classic, presented by Pontiac.
What's happening on the defensive end, you can see that Tennessee is kind of slouching off, and so Duke is not going to the person to go set the screen. They're going to a spot instead, and that's why they're not able to really get open for shots and off the cuts.
There's Beard. That time they posted her up on the block, and she got a bucket. Lead is down to 5. Beard with 4 in the ball game.
Well, that's one thing Pat Summitt talked about. Alana Beard, she has the ability to post up and also face the basket, and was concerned as far as how much she's going to post up in this game.
Everybody's All-American, Player of the Year candidate. Let's go to Doris Burke, courtside. Doris?
Well, that matchup is going to be key because Duke yesterday said that anytime Lawson is checking Alana Beard, they're going to run Beard to the block and use that post-up ability. This is what distinguishes Alana Beard and makes her the best player in the country. She can play in, she can play out. She dominates both sides of the basketball.
And both coaches, Doris, talked about Beard and Lawson going up against each other, limiting each other's touches, trying to change the pace. But you'll see other players guarding them also.
That's Harding for three off the mark. Battling inside. Duke gets the rebound.
Alana Beard still struggling from the outside shore. She really had a tough game, probably her last year against Oklahoma in her last game, where she probably shot one of the worst percentages ever. And she said it will never happen again.
Great motivator for her, folks. The NCAA Women's College Basketball doubleheader continues on ESPN at 4:30 Eastern. Diana Taurasi and the 2002 national champs from UConn take on NC State. North Carolina State is a second school in history to have both men's and women's basketball coaches in the Hall of Fame. A little interesting bit of history, and there's the look at their head coach, Kay Yao.
He just got inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. But, you know, that Wade watch with Alana Beard, but also Diana Taurasi.
Inside and one. A conversion by Winter Whitley.
Even though Tennessee has this lead mark, 17-12, right now Pat Summitt is not happy with the rebounding that the Lady Vols have. It's a missed layup right here, but you see Winter Whitley with the nice offensive glass and the putback. But Duke has done a good job controlling the offensive glass. Tennessee not blocking out, not getting a body on somebody, not focusing on the boards.
Whitley at the line, last year averaging almost 8 points a game and 5 rebounds. She has 3 points. As Duke creeps a little bit closer, they're down by 5. Harding extending the pressure to the midcourt area now.
And Gail Gestencourt has talked about Winter Whitley really struggling in preseason, was frustrated with the way she was playing, and so she had her watch the last game she played, which was against Oklahoma. She was the one player in that last game in the Final Four that played well against Oklahoma. She watched that game, and she is a different person in the last week.
The sophomore has high expectations for herself, as does Isis Tillis inside.
Well, the difference that Duke has done is put Isis Tillis now down on the block. That's one thing that Tillis really has to push herself to do. She likes floating on the outside, and it's been difficult for her to post up on that low block, and she's got to work at it.
Moore has it knocked away by Alana Beard, and Duke trying to get the hit ahead. Beard got a friendly roll. And we are knotted at 17, and the All-American has tied it. She has 6.
The one thing that Alana Beard did also, I talked to before the game, is she worked on her strength. She said, look at these arms. And she has. Her conditioning is much better, and this run that they are on is all because of the defense.
She can turn it around offensively and defensively. Beard with 8, and Duke in the midst of a 9-0 run. Timeout, Tennessee.
Tired of using the cup holder for your phone? You can't see it. You have to take it out to use it, and it's a dangerous distraction when you drive. Not anymore. Introducing the Cup Call Phone Mount, a brand new next-generation phone stand that fits right in your vehicle's cup holder, so your phone's always at your fingertips. Just drop it in and twist for a custom fit every time. Then just squeeze the sides to securely lock the phone in place. From jumbo screen mobile devices to smaller flip phones, even pop ring stands, it fits any size phone. The secret is the rubberized holders at the base that with just a twist, contract or expand to lock it in place. Up top, the adjustable holder ratchets down on any size device until the button is pressed to release the phone. Look, we installed Cup Call in this cup holder with 50 pounds chained to the bottom, and amazingly, it lifts it all. Cup Call adjusts up or down and swivels left or right for a precise viewing angle day or night. It even rotates 360 degrees, making it easier to follow your GPS. Plus, the open bottom means easy access for charger cables. And no more big cable messes. They'll stay neat and concealed underneath in the cup. Cup Call is perfect for cars, trucks, boats, RVs, even golf carts. Other holders require you to find the right cup size to fit. Then what do you do with the rest? Cup Call works with any cup holder. Just drop it in and twist, then squeeze for a secure tight fit. Get Cup Call today for just $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you absolutely free. But wait, go right now and you can double the offer. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of Air Police 4 non-medical masks with 4 layers of protection, plus a customizable nose piece for a secure fit. Just pay separate fee. This is a TV-only offer that is not available on Amazon. So call or click now.
Call 1-800-930-6038. That's 1-800-930-6038. Or visit getcupcall.com. So call 1-800-930-6038. Order now.
Now streaming. The Phenomenon comes exclusively to Disney Plus. Now streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. Rated PG-13.
I was wondering why she was flexing her muscles actually earlier.
Chords, Mark. She said 3 turnovers, 3 layups, take care of the basketball. She didn't have much time, but she let him know what she was thinking. Mark?
Turnovers really eating up now. 5 of them in all. As we approach the midway point here in the first half in the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic, presented by Pontiac. Remember, dial 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to make your contribution to help assist the aid of defeating cancer. One of the dreams that Jimmy V had before he left us tragically early back in 1993.
And Kay Yao, again from NC State, coached 10 years together, the men's and women's program, and she was instrumental as far as really getting things off the ground and what they were going to do and try and get this going.
In Kay Yao's own personal battle with cancer, Jimmy V was one of the first to greet her when she came back from the hospital years ago.
Well, she's on the board with George Baudenheimer of ESPN, and they went to Nick Valvano, Jimmy's brother, and said, hey, maybe an idea of starting this tournament for the women. And this is a tremendous crowd. I mean, this is hopefully going to continue, and as I said, a lot of these coaches, a lot of these teams have been touched by cancer in one way or the other, and what better way to honor Jimmy V and raising money for research for cancer.
19-18, Duke with a 1-point lead with 10:05 to go now in the first half. Harding with the handle out top, driving by Zolman and couldn't finish. Here comes Tennessee. And what about putting in a new offense when you're so used to doing something one way for a long time?
Well, last year there was a lot of discrepancy on this Tennessee team. Pat Summitt had 16 starting lineups, and nobody really felt comfortable. I think Carol Lawson felt a lot of pressure as far as leading this team. This year, it's a completely different chemistry from the get-go, and the freshmen have come in and done a good job. Michelle Snow is gone. Yes, she dunked the ball twice in women's basketball, but they had a couple transfers, but everybody has stepped in as far as the chemistry, and the motion offense has really gotten everybody involved, so they're excited about it. It really fits this team.
Beard a little bit long. Matasovsky couldn't get the handle, and back comes Lawson on the push.
And the fact that there's more passing, not a good pass right there, they turn it over. Again, the turnovers are hurting the Lady Vols, but really Tennessee is looking to pass the ball, but they've got a lot of scores on this team.
Isis Tillis keeping that hand up there, posing for the pictures.
Well, there's that 3, and she's got the lipstick kiss on her cheek from her mom, Melanie.
She has 7 in the ball game. Duke now surging ahead by 4. Here's Butts, rejected partially by Tillis.
And Harding did a good job to come over and help defensively.
Harding lost the handle, tried to go behind her back. Well, that's the 4th turnover for Duke.
And the one thing, Harding, being a freshman, she's going to make some freshman mistakes, and looks a little winded out there too right now.
Downtown, Zolman off the mark. Rebound Duke, a couple of empty trips by both teams up and down the floor. Here's Beard on the wing.
Zolman broke the Indiana record, scored over 3,000 points, broke Stephanie White-McCarty's record in high school. So Pat Summitt knows that Zolman has the green light to put shots up.
Matasovsky missed an early one and an easy one. Inside, Jackson fouled by Matasovsky.
Even though Tennessee missed that layup, they're getting out on the break, and Gail Gestenfors was concerned about the transition defense. They know that they've got to get back, but Duke has done a pretty good job on the offensive boards. Nice pass by Lawson. They miss it right here, but the defensive rebound right there by Tennessee, and they get to the line. Gwen Jackson knows that she is very effective on the offensive glass. She can shoot the ball. She can shoot threes. She's got mid-range jumpers, but when she's around the glass, she's difficult to keep off.
Speaking of her board work, she's the team's top returning rebounder from a season ago and second leading returning scorer from last season. She has 2 rebounds so far. Second one on its way for Gwen Jackson. She opened up a lot of eyes with that 29.8 rebound performance against Oklahoma. And what was really almost a blowout win.
Well, what really helped, I mean, last year she was so inconsistent, Mark. She averaged 10 points. As a sophomore, she was off SEC first team. So a lot of high expectations last year. Again, whether it was the offense, the chemistry, whatever it was, she was inconsistent. This year, she started out great in that Oklahoma game, and Pat Summitt is hoping, as a senior, that she continues that role.
There's Krapel dribbling on the wing. Mosh up top. Krapel inside, nice feed to the freshman, Misty Bass, who misses. They got a good look out of it, though.
Misty Bass, definitely a big body at 6'3", strong, and is aggressive. Nice little clutch right there by Lawson. She got Tillis up in the air. Tillis not happy with the call, but at 6'4", you don't have to leave your feet to block the shot.
Hey, and what about the no fear factor by Carol Lawson? She goes right into the taller player, made the contact, actually got the shot off, too.
Well, that comes from her football days. She is fearless, and as a youngster in Virginia, and her dad is at the game today, as a matter of fact, so she's pretty excited about that, but she is fearless. I talked to her before the game. She said she worked on this summer going left with the pull-up jumper. The summer before it was going right with the pull-up jumper, and there you saw her going right, and she is, as you said, fearless and not intimidated by too many players. She was very excited for the matchup to be guarding Alana Beard today.
Yeah, this early in the season, an opportunity for both teams to see exactly what they have in the mix. As Tillis comes out of the ball game, Beard back in for her.
And Pat Summitt also has countered with the 6'5" freshman Taisha Fluker out of Pasadena, California. From John Muir, kind of a long way from California, but Lori Moore also left California, so 2 California players.
National recruiting base at Tennessee. We'll be right back.
Oh no, your lawn is a nightmare with pet spots and dead spots everywhere. Laying sod is a backbreaking chore and spreading seed is a pain. Birds eat the seed and it's washed away by rain. Not anymore. Now there's GrowTrax, the amazing professional-grade grass-growing technology you simply roll, water, and watch it grow. For a great-looking lawn you're going to love. Look closer. GrowTrax merges seed science with high-tech turf technology, embedding thousands of seeds into a biodegradable, high-absorption compost fabric that retains water, so seeds stay moist and secure while keeping birds at bay and heavy rain washouts away. This is the same revolutionary roll-out fast-growth formula used by elite golf courses and resorts, and now it's finally available in a residential roll for your lawn. Just roll, water, and watch it grow, and you'll see why GrowTrax received the prestigious Best New Product Award. GrowTrax absorbs and holds up to 6 times its own weight, so you water less and grow more. Under ideal growing conditions, GrowTrax can simply grow past other grass seeds. Get rid of pet spots like magic. Erase worn footpaths. Grow grass in the shade and under trees with ease. And using GrowTrax on hills and slopes is a breeze. Watch as we place GrowTrax directly on concrete without a speck of soil, and in days it grows like crazy. It's like grass seed on steroids. It's award-winning and American-made to grow anywhere in the direct sun or shade. And now GrowTrax in this convenient 25-square-foot roll is yours for just $19.95. But wait, order now and we'll supersize your order to our large 50-square-foot roll at no extra charge. That's double the coverage, and you get it all at the Landscapers Direct discounted price of just $19.95. And for large lots and really big jobs, roll on over to our website for great GrowTrax bonus deals and discounts. Call or click now to get your supersized roll of revolutionary GrowTrax so you can roll, water, and watch it grow. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-510-3486. That's 1-800-510-3486 or go to buygrowtrax.com.
Wes, it's starting to feel like a routine, man. I'm kind of liking this.
It's go time.
That you situations like this where you really have to come together for the same cause.
Hopefully that moment was a step forward.
I spoke for all 100 guys on our team, all our backgrounds put together.
To have the longest win streak in Division I sports, that's pretty special, I think.
You guys got to have me on more often, man. You got to start coming together.
We really have a loaded show.
Tucker and Durham, weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ACCN.
It's not often you get it number 1 against number 2 this early in the season, but that's what we have today in Raleigh, North Carolina for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic at the RBC Center. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers and Doris Burke courtside. And you know what, Ann, an old coach of mine once said that good defense is like a good deodorant. It covers up a lot of stuff that smells and stinks. And that's how they've gotten back into this game, too.
And they have. They've played solid defense. They were a little slow in the beginning of the game, but their defense has been tremendous. Last year they held teams under 38% from the floor, but defensively the steals and then creating not only the turnover, but then scoring off the turnover.
Whitley inside. She has 5, and the Blue Devils now leading by 4. Ely out top. Jackson trying to get open on the wing. Duke really denying hard on the wings, alluding to that defensive effort that they put forth in the last couple of minutes. And we have a timeout on the floor with 7:01 to go. We'll be right back after this.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. Call right now for your free book, and as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched over 1,200 annuities and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from financially strong insurers. Again, that's Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free, for calling Annuity General today. Supplies are limited. Call now.
Call 800-823-2549. That's 800-823-2549.
Real people are coming together with Disney Plus.
I watch The Avengers with my grandma, Iron Man pose. There's a taste for everyone.
My girlfriend and I, we watch a Smart Guy marathon.
The Incredibles, me and my brother just love them.
Me and my partner, we love to watch Star Wars.
My niece introduced her to 101 Dalmatians. I was like, you love it, right?
Dumbo, The Simpsons, the Disney Channel classics, bridging the generational gap forever. Disney Plus will bring you together.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver. When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
That's what I'm talking about.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain, and it's affecting your everyday life.
Do something. Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
Call 1-800-814-4139 or on the web at advancedbackpro.com for only $19.99.
This does feel good. That's what I've been saying. You think it was fair? It was fun. Copperfit, live limitless.
Welcome back to the RBC Center here in Raleigh, North Carolina for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Davidson Wildcats try to top the Blue Devils at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Get this, in the 98th meeting between these two teams, Duke has faced Davidson more than any other non-ACC school. And Chris Duhon and the gang have really started to get a little chemistry going early in the season. Don't forget, dial 1-800 for Jimmy V to make your donation to help stamp out cancer, that insidious sickness and disease that at some point in our lifetime will affect either us directly or indirectly. Jimmy V's vision was to have it conquered sometime in the future, and we've made tremendous progress. The basket that time on the break by Eli.
And here's the pressure by Tennessee, getting back into it with their defense, creating a turnover. One thing in practice yesterday, Duke worked on breaking this press against Tennessee, and Tennessee likes to run that 2-2-1 trap, but Pat Summitt will use it when she has to.
Beard penetrates, kicks it out. Now here's Crapel off the mark. Tennessee controlling the glass. And a chance now for the Vols to go ahead. Moore. Lawson on the jumper. Crapel controls for Duke. Neither team afraid to push it up the floor.
Well, both these teams like to run. I mean, that's how you score a lot of points. But right now, neither team shooting the ball well, and it's just going back and forth, and it looks pretty sloppy.
Jackson off the mark. You know, there's a tendency by coaches sometimes to pull in the reins. It's one thing to say, hey, we want to get out and run, but some coaches feel that they don't have the kind of control they want to have if they're not running more half court.
Well, Gail Gestencourt talked about penetration with poise. We want to run, but you know, if we miss a couple of shots, which Tennessee can force you to do, we have to be more poised and control and just gather everything together.
Winter stepping out and missing. Here's Lawson. Still tied at 24 as we approach 5 minutes to go here in the first half. And a traveling violation against Moore. Hall of Fame coach Pat Summitt getting her team geeked up.
Next 7 minutes, we need to change the way they think we're playing on defense, don't we? They need to see a little bit more intensity out of us. Come on, Lori, you bring it.
And right off of that end, they did exactly what the coach wanted.
You saw Eli stepping in there and coming up with the steal and the nice basket. But this Tennessee program has always been known for defense, because that's the kind of player that Pat Summitt was when she was on the Olympic team in '76. And when she coached the '84 Olympic team, she expected intense defense out of her players. And that will create everything else.
Nice post up that time by Misty Bass. She has 2. Pat Summitt recently joining the Washington Mystics in the WNBA to work as a consultant. She has a lot on her hands.
Well, I talked to her husband, RB, before the game, and Tyler's also here today at the game. And a lot of it has to do with, he said, you know, it was so great, she was around basketball. She wasn't doing all these corporate speaking things. It was just talking basketball, and she was a lot more relaxed.
Outside for 3, got it. Fluker.
How about that? 6'5" Fluker, as we said, out of California. She was first team All-American, and she can shoot the 3. She had a 3 against Oklahoma. And this team is so versatile as far as this Tennessee team on how they can go inside and then also bring it from the outside, especially your post play.
Foul that time, and against Tennessee, it's interesting to watch. This is now the 4th person, different defender that I've noticed that has covered Beard, and they're making sure that every time she goes through the lane, it's almost like they're bumping it and making sure they slow her down a little bit.
One thing too, Mark, in putting different players on a player, it changes things up. You've got to change how you play offensively against a different defensive player. But yes, you can play a little bit more physical, and as a defensive player, it keeps you a little bit more pressure.
Beard gets open, missing that time, expecting a little contact perhaps.
Fluker made her change the shot. You're the one player that's got to do everything out there. Beard, you're playing against these different defensive players.
Winter couldn't hang on to it, and here comes Moore. Strong to the bucket and missing everything, expecting the foul. Harding.
Duke is a team that prides itself on charges, and they do a good job getting defensive position, and Alana Beard trying to take the charge against Moore that time.
Mosh inside, and she's fouled.
What Duke is going to find out, because Tennessee is an aggressive defensive team, is that if Duke continues to go inside, not just off the dribble penetration, but some posting up, that they'll get to the free throw line. And that's one thing that they missed with Monique Curry, is that she led the ACC in free throws. She got to the line more than anybody as a freshman last year, going to the free throw line. And they missed that aggressiveness. They missed that post-up attitude.
It's going to be kind of a patchwork situation by committee almost in how they replace the player you see on your screen right there, Curry. What do you think the best way to work that thing out is?
Well, the fact that they've got a deeper bench this year. Last year, they had 2 players leave, they transferred, and they had adversity. Their assistant coach, Joanne Boyle, who left Richmond, she had some brain surgery, but so they faced adversity. They were the Elite 8 themselves as far as that team, and they made it to the Final Four, so they're used to facing adversity, but she can go a little deeper this year, and her freshmen are strong.
And they're going to have to make an immediate impact and contribution. Here's Harding, one of those precocious freshmen, fouled by Lawson on their way to the bucket. She'll get 2.
And look at Pat Summitt. She is not happy with the defense as far as helping out, allowing Harding to go right down the middle and no weak side help. There you see Lawson get beat. Hey, a little step in, and then Eli is like, Matador, Bull.
Harding will go to the line for 2, the 5'8" freshman. We'll try and knock this game up. Number 1 against number 2. Duke against Tennessee. This early in the season, it was Tennessee winning a year ago by 21 points. 2 years ago, Tennessee defeated Duke. Pardon me, Duke defeated Tennessee in the East Regional. Gail Gustin, of course, perhaps her best coaching job ever last year. Harding makes the free throw. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll remind you about a couple of important things. One of them, the phone number to make your donation, 1-800-4-DIMMY-V, or the website you see on your screen. We'll be speaking with Nick Valvano when we come back.
Look closely. This $50 Buffalo gold piece was the purest gold coin ever struck using .9999. That's 4 nines, pure 24-karat gold. The U.S. government had to stop production because of a shortage of specially made gold blanks. It's no wonder the price of that edition has gone through the roof. Now you can reserve your own copy clad in 14 milligrams of 24-karat gold. The final issue price was to be set at $50 per proof. But now, this private, non-monetary 24-karat gold-clad masterpiece can be yours for only $9.95. With gold prices up over 300% since 2004, price can only be guaranteed for 7 days. Each new 2020 $50 Gold Buffalo Tribute proof is clad in 14 milligrams of 24-karat gold, is proof struck, and utilizes the famous Buffalo nickel design. Strict limit of 5 proofs per caller. You must hurry. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-750-8194.
I'm Doug Hirsch. You may already know that GoodRx can help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions. Unfortunately, many Americans can't get to a doctor right now. The good news is that for many health issues, you can see a doctor online. It's easy. Just go to GoodRx.com, and with a few clicks, you'll be treated by a licensed medical professional, all from the comfort of your own home. Visits are confidential and affordable. Need a prescription? Your doctor can send it to your pharmacy or have it mailed to you. Get the healthcare you deserve at GoodRx.com.
Now streaming. The Phenomenon comes exclusively to Disney Plus. Now streaming exclusively on Disney Plus. Rated PG-13.
There is a tournament-type buzz here at the Jimmy V Women's Classic, the inaugural one, presented by Pontiac. Here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Alana Beard leading her team along the way. We are tied at 29. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Mark, thank you very much. I'm standing by with a very special guest, Nick Valvano, who is the CEO of the V Foundation. And Nick, congratulations first and foremost on the inaugural Jimmy V. And can you talk about how special this is for you personally and the Valvano family that it's here at this venue in particular?
I think it's almost impossible to describe. You know, we're trying to find ways to raise money for cancer research, and we decided to have a game down here, never thinking that we would have such a crowd. It was just so thrilled.
One of the things I don't think people are aware of about Coach Valvano is the fact that he was a great supporter of women's basketball. 10 years he was at North Carolina State with Kay Yao. What would this have meant to Coach Valvano?
I think it's just perfect. It's exactly what he would love to do. You know, his relationship with Kay meant very, very much to him. And she's a great friend of the foundation. And without her, we couldn't have pulled this thing off.
Kay Yao fought her own battle with breast cancer. Can you talk about the impetus? What got this particular event underway?
Well, I think it started with the foundation. You know, we wanted to do something for women's cancer initiatives. And what we do anytime we want to do something, we go to a friend. And Kay's a friend. We went to her and asked her for help, and she said, I can do this. And she got the teams, and with the support of ESPN, which is there at every step of the way for the foundation, we were able to pull it off. It's just I'm thrilled. We have over 10,000 people here today.
Congratulations on
Thank
a
you.
great event, the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic. Mark, back to you.
All right, Doris, thanks a lot. I can remember joining ESPN and the family back in 1990, and one of the first people to befriend me was Jimmy Valvano. We did college basketball games together at both ESPN and ABC, and I've never met a more passionate man in my entire life.
Well,
Don't forget 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to make your donation, or log on to the website www.jimmyv.org.
When Jim Valvano went with ESPN as an announcer in '91, he went to ESPN and said, hey, I'd like to do a show on women's basketball. And they said, well, what do you know about women's basketball? He said, I know K-Yao. That's all I need to know. And then he found out that he had cancer in '92 and passed away in '93.
Tennessee leading by 2 with under 2 minutes to go. Don't forget, Monday Night Countdown provides up-to-the-minute NFL news, analysis, and live interviews. Stuart Scott will host the show along with Tom Jackson, Ron Jaworski, Sharp, and Mortensen. Get all the news from the best in the business starting at 7:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN and leading up to Monday Night Football on ABC. It's Al Michaels, John Madden. Great matchup tonight between division leaders tomorrow night. San Francisco 49ers, Jeff Garcia and T.O. making a lot of TDs together. That's Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern on ABC.
Right now, Gail Gessencourt is concerned about her team really kind of trying to get a lead and sustaining it. They're down 2 right now, but they have just not been real smooth in their offense.
Whitley cross court to Foley, the freshman. Nice move on the baseline, but once again unable to convert. Matasovsky does, though.
And Jessica Foley, a 6-foot freshman from Australia, who came over to Duke when she played against Duke. Duke went over there 2 summers ago and played against the junior team in Australia. She had 29 points in the first game against Duke and 14 in the second. It was like Gail Gessencourt went right after her and came to Duke, and boy, she's been a shining star as far as the outside shooting that Duke has needed.
Another long player as well. Tied at 31 with 1:21 to go here in the first half. This is the 5th tie of the ball game. Foley from outside. Zolman back the other way now for the balls, and Beard picks her pocket, didn't leave her any change. Alana Beard, little stutter step, and one. Alana Beard saying, hey, this is my party.
Beard has struggled a little bit in this first half as far as her shots falling for her, but that time, under control, you could see the look in her eye. She was strong, going to the basket. She wasn't going to be denied and knew that she was going to create contact. Now, last year, she might not have followed this shot as far as putting it in, but you saw the balance once the contact was made, very much under control.
You know what? When you wear shoes as funky as the ones that she's wearing, you got to be good, Ann.
She wore them last year, too.
Those things come with D-size batteries, folks. Lawson being guarded by Beard. Under a minute to go now in the first half.
One of the things, too, that a player like Harding can learn from Beard, and you see on the defensive steal, is that the patience on the defensive end. You just don't steal everything and go for an open look all the time. You've got to pick your moments.
Don't forget, coming at halftime, it's Carl Ravitch and Nancy Lieberman back at the studios. We'll have a little interview with Gino Auriemma, the head coach of the defending national champs. A look at the top conferences in women's college basketball, and Nancy on some of the early tests and some of the early results in this part of the women's college basketball season. Don't forget that ESPN and ESPN2 is your exclusive home of the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Folks, we'll be showing all 63 games to you.
And I think you'll get to see a lot of new names pop up during the course of the season. Gail Gessencourt looking for a 20-second timeout, slow things down, set it up.
Duke leading by 3 with 21 seconds to go. NC State going to be hosting one of the regionals coming up.
Well, if you can draw a crowd like this, it's going to be exciting for women's basketball.
Really bodes well for the future here in the Raleigh area. 3-point lead for the Blue Devils. They just spread the floor out. Beard out top.
Remember, there's no backcourt time in women's basketball.
Working on Lawson, crossed her up a little bit. Couldn't get it to fall. At the buzzer, it's good. Tillis. Isis Tillis with a timely bucket, and Duke will storm into their locker with a 5-point lead. Beard leads the way for Duke with 11 points on 5 of 13 shooting. She dished out 4 dimes in the process. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Thanks, Mark. Gail, you were very successful after a shaky start. You forced plenty of turnovers. How did that happen?
Well, I think we put in Lindsay Harding. She did a great job for us. I'm real proud of her. She kind of pushed Axton a little bit on the defensive end and on the offensive end. It wasn't always successful for us. I feel like we got some good looks. We need to start putting those easy shots down, though.
Your jump shots from the outside were not falling. Were you concerned that you were taking too many early?
I really was. And we talked about being patient offensively and looking for some cuts to the basket, but I thought we were really impatient. We struggled from the outside. We kept taking those outside shots. Finally, I think we settled down a little bit.
Good luck in the second half, Gail. Mark?
All right, Doris, thanks a lot. Isis Tillis giving Duke a 5-point lead. Tillis is the fashion diva on the team, and right now, Duke looking like they are dressed for success now and in the future. Right now, back to the studio with Carl and Nancy. Guys.
Hi, Jonesy, and he knows a little bit about being dressed for success, Nancy.
Yes,
Mark
he
Jones,
does.
He does.
The diva.
The diva, male. This is a team, Duke, that has depth. We talked about that, and they did certainly at the beginning of the game. I think we saw that. She talked about bringing Harding in. Backcourt play and defensive pressure, the difference?
Absolutely. I thought that what happened early is that they were struggling with their outside shot. But you know what? Alana Beard is like Deion Sanders. Don't go to her side of the field because she's going to steal the ball. She's going to create points for defense. You're going to be very successful if you're Duke. That got them into the flow. And, Carl, when they're playing defense the way they are right now, they are very difficult to stop, and it did bog down Tennessee.
Very good in transition, and you talked about it. She'll lull you to sleep with that 76-inch wingspan. As soon as you think you buy her, she'll pick you. We'll come back. This is what Duke wants to be doing at the beginning of next season, raising a banner like they did in Storrs, Connecticut.
It's starting to feel like a routine, man. I'm kind of liking this.
It's go time.
Situations like this where you really have to come together for the same cause.
Hopefully that moment was a step forward. I spoke for all 100 guys on our team, all our backgrounds put together.
To have the longest win streak in Division I sports, that's pretty special, I think.
You guys got to have me on more often, man. You got to start coming together.
We really have a loaded show.
Tucker and Durham, weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ACCN.
Black Lives Matter.
Simple as that.
Silence is no longer an option.
It's time to be part of the movement.
Progress has been too slow.
There's no place for racism and social injustice anywhere.
And just because you haven't lived it, doesn't mean it isn't real. The ball is in our court.
Put in the hard work for change.
And lead the tough conversations about racism.
We see you.
We hear you.
We stand with you.
Black Lives Matter.
When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now, introducing the new Copperfit compression gloves with sure grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that supports relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new Sure Grip bands built in provide a strong, non-slip grip.
They relieve my pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It works.
Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-658-8753 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone. I love this glove.
Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
The Jimmy V Women's Classic is presented by Pontiac, fuel for the soul.
We are back at the RBC Center here for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Two great games coming up today. The first one at halftime, Duke leading Tennessee by a score of 36-31 in a battle of number 1 and number 2. A look at the first half numbers would kind of bear out the fact that that this game started off very quickly. Defense, though, turned the tide in Duke's favor in the latter part of the first half.
It really did. Both teams are liking to run. They want to keep the tempo up. It's been a little sloppy. Tennessee shooting almost 43%, but it's been the offensive rebounding for Duke. Not only their defense, they've created 12 turnovers for Tennessee, but they've hit the offensive boards. They've got 10 more shots at the offense against Tennessee because they're crashing the boards. Interesting that both teams in early play so far haven't had a chance to really reveal too much. They were kind of saving it for this game here. Duke shooting 40% from the field to Tennessee's 43. The number that jumps off the page at you, though, is the number of points off of turnovers, and in favor of Duke, 20-8. Well, obviously that's huge. Tennessee trying to bring up their defense, and you see right there the rebounds, only one being out-rebounded by Tennessee over Duke over Tennessee, but there you see the penetration by Alana Beard, and then inside play by Alana Beard. She's getting the ball all over the floor. She's 5 of 13 from the floor. It's taken 4 3-pointers, one of the things that Gail Gestenfor has talked about as far as the outside shot, but that one went in for Tillis. She was 4 of 4 from the outside, but no rebounds by Tillis. She finished up with 9 points. Beard with 11 in the first half as we get set to begin the second half here. Brittany Jackson to inbound from midcourt for Tennessee. Well, right now for Tennessee, their post players have to do a better job getting to the boards, going inside. 7 rebounds for Jackson and Lawson. I should say Lori Moore and Kara Lawson. As far as the backcourt for Tennessee, they are leading in rebounding. Jackson had it knocked away and then is fouled by Beard. Beard had 4 steals in the first half. The one thing we talked about is that Beard is a player that has learned when to go after the steal. The thing is, early on in her career here at Duke, she got into a lot of foul trouble because she'd really go for silly steals. Brittany Jackson off glass. Couldn't get her own rebound up. Didn't get the shot off, and she is, looks like it's knocked out of bounds underneath. You can see Tennessee right away changing their process as far as going inside right away, opening up the second half. They'll get to the free throw line. They were only 3 of 6 from the line, not getting there because they didn't go inside. Those shots were inside, they didn't fall, but Pat Summitt's got to be pleased if they're making the attempt to go inside. There's Crapel out top, being guarded by Moore. Tillis comfortable with her back to the basket or when she's away from facing, yeah. There's Beard. Displaying that newfound strength that you alluded to in the first half. Muscling her way by her opponent on the way to the bucket. Folks, don't forget many ways that you can contribute to defeating cancer and the Jimmy V Foundation. Log on to www.espnauctions.com for a variety of unique sports-related items and experiences, including select memorabilia related to the Jimmy V Women's Classic. Items include some great stuff. Tickets to a UConn Notre Dame game coming up in February. Team fan packages and a basketball signed by all 4 coaches involved in today's doubleheader. And of course, all the proceeds benefiting the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Well, how about the officials today? They are also participating. They're going to be donating some money. 2 weeks ago, the NFL officials were asked to donate part of their fees. $100 to $100,000 was donated out of 119 officials. And then the replay officials said, how come you didn't ask us? We want to donate too. And they raised over $50,000 just from the NFL officials. Well, since 1993, the V Foundation has raised over $24 million and awarded over 160 research grants. And it's like I've always said, you know what the best nation in the world is? A donation. Not to be tried about it. You certainly see the impact too, and how many people, as far as the research and how many people it has helped, not only the people with the cancer, but the families. Robinson at the line, the second of 2. In and out, Matasovsky with the rebound. Crapel now bringing it up court for Duke. Still with a 5-point lead. A little half-court trap now. Crapel handles it well. Again, the patience, the poise, not to get caught up in that pressing defense that Tennessee runs at you. Mosh just off the mark. Here's Moore. Good hit ahead. Lori Moore is so good at looking down the floor and getting the ball up.
Tennessee unable to control the rebound, but once again getting some good looks at the basket.
Well, they are. Things really not falling their way, but they're pushing. They're being aggressive. That's the one thing that Pat Summit, and really kind of a new coaching staff. Al Brown is gone. She's picked up Nikki Caldwell. Mickey DeBoss and Holly Warlick are still there, but Nikki Caldwell, who played for Pat Summit and on championship teams, is now an assistant coach. And it's really kind of helped the players really gel together, too.
Tennessee with great lineage and bloodlines. They run all the way from Knoxville to the pro ranks, WNBA, as well as overseas in Europe.
There's plenty of time on the shot clock, but Duke's got to get into their offense.
Tillis tried to hit Matasovsky on the cut, but that was a difficult pass. That is the 8th turnover of the ball game. Let's go to Doris.
Thanks, Mark. Pat Summit implored her team to make sure that in the motion offense, which is so new, as you guys both know, that they continue to move and move without the basketball. One of the keys with the spread offense is that all 5 players have got to be in constant motion, setting constant screens. They're working hard on the backdoor cuts this half, but another turnover plaguing them right there. That is too many. They were very upset with the 12 turnovers.
Even though with that motion offense, it creates shots for everybody. The big thing is that Pat Summit, and most teams in the country will tell you, you got to establish the inside game. You got to go inside, and because obviously it's a higher percentage shot getting the ball that close to the basket, and 2, you have a better opportunity to get fouled and go to the free throw line.
2 on the shot clock. Matasovsky controls the rebound and gets it to fall.
Well, that's just got to be killing the coaching staff at Tennessee as far as the offensive glass. Duke not shooting the ball well, but Tennessee continuing to give up defensive rebounds for Duke.
This is Duke's biggest lead of the ball game, 7 points, with just under 17 minutes to go here in the second half. Duke number 1 against Tennessee number 2.
You know, like Jimmy V said, you got to believe. You always have to believe it. And I think this Duke team, what Gail Gessencourse has taught them as far as believe in yourselves. There's a reason we're number 1. And it's not because Tennessee's better than us or Connecticut and the other names. You know, Duke is a name to be reckoned with.
They've really forged their name onto the college basketball landscape. There's Moore, drops it back to Jackson. They go inside in a triple team. Jackson kicks it out to Robinson. And Robinson called for the charge, but man, and did you see the way that Duke really dug down from up top on the post players?
Did a good job collapsing on Gwen Jackson, but then Robinson has to realize that they can go ahead and knock down a 15-foot shot. That's the high post, that's a free throw shot, is 15 foot. Don't continue to force things in there and clog it up even more. She thought she had the drive, but sometimes players hesitate on that 15-foot jump shot, and I kind of scratch my head sometimes.
Robinson checking out of the ball game.
You should be able to make a free throw.
You would think. 9-point lead for Duke with possession.
Well, that's what we say about Shaq, isn't it? Not too far away.
Boy, Moore really dogging her on defense. Beard underneath, and she's fouled on her foray to the bucket. Alana Beard, everybody's All-American Choice Player of the Year candidate. Interesting story about when Coach Gessencourse first saw her play back in high school. Coach wrote a note to herself saying, quote, "This is the best player I've ever seen," put it in her pocket, and after the game she spoke to Beard, and Beard thought she didn't even play that well in that game. So that tells you about the modesty and the self-effacing nature of the star player, and when your star player has that kind of approach, it helps everybody.
Well, probably got a little lucky too. She didn't have the money to travel with some of the AAU teams, and that ball falling in for Crapo. But so a lot of coaches really didn't get the opportunity to see her play, and a tape was sent to Tennessee, and it got misplaced. In Connecticut, they didn't have an opportunity to follow up, and so a lot of people will go back at those programs. But hey, she's at the right program, and she's playing for the right coach, and not every program is right for every kid. And I think Alana Beard has done such a good job. She was so homesick. She's from Louisiana. When she went to Duke, she was very homesick.
Well, the range of emotions spanning the entire gamut for Duke. As for Tennessee, well, a little bit tumultuous right now in the sidelines. Back with more from
Tired of using the cup holder for your phone? You can't see it. You have to take it out to use it. And it's a dangerous distraction when you drive. Not anymore. Introducing the Cup Call Phone Mount, a brand new next generation phone stand that fits right in your vehicle's cup holder. So your phone's always at your
Call 1-800-930-6038. That's 1-800-930-6038. Or visit getcupcall.com. So call 1-800-930-6038. Order now.
Support your favorite college at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. Shop the most trusted brands and exclusive designs by Fanatics. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
I had my dream career and loads of student debt. So I went to Credible.com and in 3 minutes had actual rates from multiple lenders and I saved thousands of dollars.
Visit Credible.com to see how much you could save on your student loans.
Back in Raleigh, North Carolina at the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac.
I want to cry every time I see that.
Really one of the more riveting and emotional speeches ever made in the sporting sense.
I had a chance last night. They had a Jimmy V Foundation dinner for some of the NCAA people and ESPN, and had a chance to go over and talk to his widow, Pam. And both she and I lost our husbands in '93, mine of a heart attack, and obviously Jimmy with cancer. So she's doing well, the family's doing well, and you know, and it's tough. But the fact that they continue to keep the community involved with the foundation, not only with obviously this tournament, which has been a great success, we think, right now, but with the golf tournament and getting so many people involved.
Real boisterous crowd on hand here. One more look at the last sequence. Lawson muscling underneath, and
just a hustle play by Lawson, and she has always been the type of player for Tennessee that if something needs to happen, she's going to be the one to make it happen, and she goes after the offensive rebound.
And Diana Taurasi of the defending champs from UConn watching with discerning eyes at the first game of this doubleheader. Don't forget the second one coming up a little bit later on ESPN. UConn taking on NC State.
Two players in this country, Alana Beard and Diana Taurasi, that, I mean, they are the most versatile players, great range. Taurasi probably a better outside shooter than Beard, but Beard defensively a better player than Taurasi. But those two players have the ability to play any position, understand every position, make a difference on both ends of the floor, and they really change the complex. And one thing I enjoy about both of them is, one, that they have fun, but two, they're so effortless in playing the game.
UConn raised their championship banner on Friday. Season opener against Wright State. A game that was no contest, UConn winning that one. Tennessee cutting the lead to 10.
I mentioned Tennessee hasn't played in 2 weeks. They played against Oklahoma and beat them 94-68, but this is a team that, again, looking for that leadership. Great cut by Tillis to the basket. Lawson trying to help out, gets called for the foul. You know, we talk about Tennessee and their spread offense and trying to get the passes down and the cuts, and, you know, it's all about timing, but the timing right there for Duke as far as running the basketball. Good pass by Alana Beard. We talked about her defense. She looks for steals, but she is such a good passer and has become a better passer because last year she really worked on her ball handling. She had to play point an awful lot last year.
Well, it's really paid off, and Beard now, actually, Tillis with a dozen points in the ball game. Beard with 14, those two leading the way.
But the fact that Tennessee, you see Gwen Jackson is out of the game right now. She had such a great second half against Oklahoma in that first game. Pat Summitt trying to find somebody to step up to the plate.
Grapeville with a hit ahead to Lindsey Harding. Tillis now to Whitley.
There's a nice cut.
Good ball fake and a foul on Fluker.
Duke having fun or what? Look at the smiles.
Playing very relaxed right now. You know, after their win against East Carolina a couple of nights ago, they still weren't quite sure exactly what they had in the mix, but I think that they're learning quite a bit about themselves in this test against Tennessee.
Well, they came out against East Carolina like fire ants. I mean, they were all over the ball, and I mean, they scored 63 points in the first half, and were too shy of a school record, but their freshmen were able to play. I mean, and Alana Beard didn't play that much in the second half, but they were so excited to get a game under their belt.
A 14-point lead for Duke. Tillis hustling on the boards.
But Lindsey Harding, the freshman, the point guard, number 10 for Duke, she has really made a difference. She's doing the little things that lots of times aren't showing up on the stats, keeping the ball alive, getting the pass to somebody that needs it, right in the position that they want it.
Part of the reason why Duke holding a 14-point lead right now, because Tennessee offensively struggling in the second half. They got a bagel on the board, 0 for 9, 43% in the first half. So a tale of two halves for the Volunteers as Pat Summitt looks to press the right button to get her team jump started a little bit. They trail by 14.
You mentioned last year too that she made a lot of substitute changes, 16 starting different lineups, and you know, this year this team has really got to come together. I really truly believe that there's more chemistry, and no matter which team wins this game, it's only going to benefit them down the road. Probably more positive from Duke.
Well, last year Tennessee blew out Duke by 21. You know what they say about payback. We'll be right back.
It's a war zone out there, and your car's paint gets attacked every day by acid rain, damaging rocks, scorching sun, leaving your paint dull and faded. Now you can clean, shine, and protect with Shine Armor, the amazing new car polish that's made with super nano ceramic, guaranteed to be the greatest shine and protection you've ever used. Just spray it on to restore your car's finish with ease. It's not a wax, but a high-tech ceramic shield that instantly repels dirt and debris. Nothing sticks, and water just dances right off. Even a fried egg won't stick. Amazing. No matter where you drive, everything cleans up just like that. Shine Armor with nano ceramic is made in the USA, and it's not just a little better, it's a lot better, making all other polishes obsolete. The secret? Our exclusive ceramic formula that fills in micro cracks and crevices to create an ultra-durable protective barrier against harsh elements. Even fire can't break the protection. And nuts and bolts just bounce off without a scratch. Bumpers, trim, mirrors, glass, and more. You'll get a beautiful showroom shine with Shine Armor. Professional ceramic finishes can cost you thousands, but act now and get Shine Armor for only $19.99. But wait, we'll also send you 2 premium microfiber towels for a perfect, easy application in just minutes. Absolutely free. And we're not done. We'll double this offer and send you a second set. That's enough Shine Armor for your cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and more. Just pay a separate fee, and we'll ship it to you free. That's 2 bottles of Shine Armor, 4 microfiber towels, and free shipping. But you have to call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-496-5817 or go online at buyshinearmor.com. Don't delay. Call 1-800-496-5817 or go online at buyshinearmor.com. Order now.
Wes, it's starting to feel like a routine, man. I'm kind of liking this.
It's go time.
Situations like this where you really have to come together for the same cause.
Out for that moment was a step forward. I spoke for all 100 guys on our team, all our backgrounds put together.
To have the longest win streak in Division I sports, that's pretty special, I think.
You guys got to have me on more often, man. You got to start coming together.
We really have a loaded show.
Soccer in Durham, weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ACCN.
Duke extending its lead to 17 points with 13:54 to go in the second half. Pat Summitt reading her team the riot act.
They're scoring, we're not scoring. That might have say something about their defense and our defense. Would you agree with that? And then you got to get on the boards. We're going to stay in our motion. I don't care what they're running. Run your guard through, run your motion, but right now we're in a box set. But I got to see some fight. Got to see you affect something they're doing down there.
Well, right now, Tennessee with the ball, and does that qualify as the riot act for Pat Summitt?
No, I thought she was pretty easy, to be quite honest.
Diplomatic.
And the thing is, again, this is the kind of coach that Pat Summitt is. Goes right to the defense. It's not about the offense. Yeah, they're going to run their motion offense, and you can see 0 for 9, but it's about their defense. And if you don't play defense, your offense isn't going to come, and you can't do anything about your opponent. So pick up the intensity on the defensive end.
Here's Harding, the freshman who was singled out by Coach Gestencourse in the first half for coming in and doing a great job. Tillis on the turnaround, and a soft, deft touch by Isis Tillis. She has 17 in the ball game, and Duke now leading by 19 points.
And hasn't missed.
We're here in Raleigh, North Carolina for the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers and Doris Burke courtside. 13-13 to go in the second half in this battle between number 1 and number 2. And this game really kind of turned at the end of the first half when Duke turned to Isis Tillis offensively and Alana Beard, their two respective leaders. Here's Robinson swinging it to Lawson. Lynn Jackson out top.
The biggest thing for Tennessee is not to panic in this motion offense.
Inside, and they finally get their first field goal of the half, courtesy of Butts.
If you can be patient enough, and yes, the shot clock is running down, and the hard part is for players to get past 5 passes, and it can happen. You can still score, and they prove that they can. Just don't get too wrapped up in panicking.
They played some defense on that possession, come up with the steal, and then they immediately turn it back over. You know, talent has something to do with recruiting, doesn't it, Doris Burke?
Well, up until this point in history, the only 2 programs in the country that could have absorbed Monique Curry's injury would have been Connecticut and Tennessee. But thanks to this, 4+ years of great recruiting classes has enabled Duke to lose the caliber play of Curry and still have a double-digit lead on the number 2 team in the country. Brittany Hunter, that last name you saw in that graphic, Duke beat out Connecticut. Gina Oriema very upset with that loss. Misty Bass, who's on the bench right now for Duke, Gail Gestencourse beat out Pat Summitt. So the recruiting battle starting to be won by the Duke Blue Devils. They are approaching the air that only Connecticut and Tennessee have occupied to date. Maybe it's going to be a big 3 soon, Ann Myers.
Well, the one thing that I'm looking for, too, is the parity, Doris, as far as what's happening with other programs. But it all really starts with Pat Summitt. She has created every rivalry. You can go back to the late 70s, early 80s, Louisiana Tech, Leon Barmore and Sonia Hogue. That was a great rivalry. Then it was USC. Then it was Stanford. Then it was Connecticut. But Tennessee has always been the one program that everybody is measured by in what they're going to accomplish.
Yeah, the one common denominator. And
they've got 6 national championships.
Up court quickly, trying to make a move and a run. Jackson fouled underneath.
Nobody has more titles than the Tennessee Lady Vols with 6 and been to the Final Four 17 times.
We're here in Raleigh, North Carolina at the RBC Center. Number 1 Duke taking on number 2 Tennessee in the Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers and Doris Burke. Duke has extended its lead to its biggest point right now, and part of the reason why they're points off of turnovers.
The turnovers, 18 turnovers for Tennessee, and Duke has really been in their face. They've gotten turnovers on the ball. They've stolen it from the guards, and not just stepping into the passing lanes, but doubling up and then stealing the ball from the ball handler. And that's been key, and then being able to convert it. Tennessee been known for their defense. Pat Summitt is a defensive coach, and they have not been able to put the pressure on Duke.
Great atmosphere here at the RBC Center for the Jimmy V Classic presented by Pontiac. 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to make your contribution.
This is Kate.
Hey.
She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate's son Jack takes 1 too. Kate works hard and thought she had good insurance, but she still pays too much. That's no good. So Kate downloaded the GoodRx app. Now she can compare prescription prices to find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Good for you, Kate. Good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today.
Rated PG-13, now streaming on Disney+.
Wes, it's starting to feel like a routine, man. I'm kind of liking this.
It's go time.
Situations like this where you really have to come together for the same cause.
Out for that moment was a step forward. I spoke for all 100 guys on our team, all our backgrounds put together.
To have the longest win streak in Division I sports, that's pretty special, I think.
You guys got to have me home more often, man. You got to start coming together. We really have a loaded show.
Docker and Durham, weekdays 8 to 10 a.m. on ACCN.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver. When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
That's what I'm talking about.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain, and it's affecting your everyday life. Do something.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
Call 1-800-814-4139 or on the web at advancedbackpro.com for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun. Copperfit, live limitless.
Back here in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Dial 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to make your donation or contribution. Let's go to courtside to Doris Burke.
Thanks, Mark. A very special guest here, Edna Campbell of the Sacramento Monarchs. And Edna, can you talk a little bit about your re-entry into the WNBA after your battle with cancer this summer? What were your thoughts going into that game?
Well, it was just the same approach that I would take to any other game. I was preparing myself to get out there and perform to the best of my abilities, and it was just a good feeling to get out there and be an active participant with my team.
The inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic, V Foundation will get the proceeds or part of the proceeds of this event. Can you talk about what that means to someone like you who has endured her own battle of cancer? Can you put this into any kind of context for us?
Well, this is a great event, not just for women's basketball, but in the fact that the Jimmy V Foundation does raise money for cancer research. So just to be here and to take part in this event and to support their efforts, it's a great feeling for me.
Clean bill of health, what can we expect from you in the upcoming season?
Hey, I'm just getting myself in shape. You know, we're going to get out there and give it our best shot next season, and we're shooting for a championship.
Congratulations. Best of good health the rest of the way. Mark?
All right, thanks, Doris. The Monarchs got off to a slow start this year, and there's another look at one of the cancer survivors on the landscape. Faye Yao, the head coach of North Carolina State. Don't forget, dial 1-800-4-JIMMY-V to make your donation, or log on to the website, www.jimmyv.org.
I told Edna Campbell before the game, I said, I don't recognize you, you got hair. And this summer, with going through her treatments, and as she said, a clean bill of health this past week from her doctors. And the biggest thing is getting her strength back. She said she was on the treadmill, kind of, doesn't have the stamina quite yet. And she knows it's still going to be an uphill battle, but she's one of the most positive people, as most cancer survivors are.
Pass inside, and Beard with the steal. Beard shaking and breaking him.
The other thing that throws people off about Alana Beard, she's left-handed. And the fact that she made such a heads-up play on the defensive end after her team scored, they're all running down the floor. She had presence of mind of knowing where the ball was and to get the out-of-bounds pass after the shot by Bass. And she comes up with it, and when she attacks left-handed. And a lot of players are going to defend going to the right.
Beard at the line makes the first of two. She now has 15 points in the ball game. Tennessee defeated Duke last year by 21 points. The year before that, actually 2 years ago, it was Duke winning against Tennessee in an East Regional. Well, right now, the Blue Devils lead by 20 as we approach 10 minutes to go in the second half.
The thing that really amazes me about Alana Beard is that her career high so far at Duke is only 7 steals. And she's got 5 in this game.
And the meter's still running. Jump shot that time by Jackson. She has 8.
Well, Gwen Jackson, good wide open shot, high percentage shot. She's got to knock those kind of shots down. And Tennessee's got to look to try and get more of those kind of shots. But
that was a clinic.
Bass, strong player again. One of the first big players since Michelle Van Gorp in '99 that they've had that can really make a difference with that big body inside.
Foul on the way to the bucket. Don't forget, coming up next, UConn going into the tunnel, going to huddle the masses and get together with the Brain Trust. Gino Auriemma and his staff coming up next on ESPN at 4:30. It's number 5 UConn taking on NC State.
Well, like he said before the game, and there you see Kay Yao, new inductee into the Hall of Fame with Edna Campbell, both cancer survivors. But Gino said a lot of people won't think we're as good as we are as last year, but we'll be better than they really think we are.
And you look at Kay Yao there on the sideline. You mentioned both her and Campbell, cancer survivors. You cannot emphasize or belabor the point. 1 out of every 2 men and 1 out of every 3 women will develop cancer during his or her lifetime, folks. So we have to step up to the plate and defeat this insidious disease.
And I think you have to be more concerned, too, as far as men. It's not something that's talked about with men, but Richard Roundtree came out and talked about it, and I think it really helped open up the issue.
Underneath, lots of heavy traffic. Bodies strewn across the lane, and Coach Gustencourse with her hands in the air in despair.
Well, Tennessee really trying to make the effort, and I tell you, it's too bad that Pat Summitt can't play because she just brings such great intensity to the game and tries to instill it in her players. Carol Lawson has that, but sometimes you see the look on players and it's so passive looking. But I tell you, not when you've got somebody like Pat Summitt right behind you.
Well, something that really defines both these two teams as Butt steps to the line is the fact that both their star players, Lawson and Beard, were the first 2 players out here for shoot-around before the game began. And when you have them setting that kind of example, it can help.
It's the focus, it's the preparation and knowing what you have to accomplish, and also your leadership as far as showing the rest of your teammates.
Harding has done a great job handling the ball at the point. Here's Foley up top. Harding on the flare screen.
Oh, nice back door.
Nice cut inside.
No, no, no!
Not sure that was a foul.
What a great move by Alana Beard. The control that she has this year reminds me a lot of Cynthia Cooper. She has changed her pace of game. She can go in slow motion. This is definitely not a travel. Penetration spin move. There you see the right pivot foot. She dips and she stays controlled. She keeps that right pivot foot. And I love her reaction. But, you know, hey.
Sometimes it looks too good.
Even the best get fooled. Even the best get fooled.
Eli cross court to Jackson. And she's fouled by Misty Bass out top. 17-point lead for Duke as we approach 9 minutes to go.
Misty Bass from Wisconsin. Her dad, Chubby Checkers. And she can sing.
With more on that, let's go to Doris.
Well, interestingly enough, when Misty Bass picked up a basketball in the 6th grade, she did it because she wanted to play for the Tennessee Lady Vols. Recruited heavily by Pat Summitt, it wasn't until she made a visit to Duke and met Gail Gustencourse and her staff that she changed her mind. Pat Summitt spent an hour on the phone with her after that visit trying to convince her to come back to Tennessee or commit to Tennessee, but nothing doing. Gail Gustencourse, the recruiting job that she and her staff has done has been nothing short of remarkable.
Sure has, and Bass comes up. Chubby Checker, man, you're all over that. So she's about to get her twist on. It was him, wasn't it?
Well, he wasn't there raising her. Her mom raised her. But she is in more communication with him.
Whitley goes to the floor as Tennessee cuts the lead to 15.
3-time Wisconsin Player of the Year.
Harding over the midcourt line, now looking at a zone for Tennessee. Now they morph into a man defense.
Tennessee looking to trap, going into a zone. Different look, forcing Duke to maybe take some outside shots.
There's Beard from the baseline. Lawson quickly up court to Jackson. Great run out. And she can't finish. A little bit out of control because of the pass. It was a little bit far.
And not even that so much, too. It was the angle. She was too straight onto the basket. Took her out of position on trying to use the backboard. Going into that 2-3 again, changing things up against Duke. You see Duke really turning the ball over here. Also, not a great shot by Alana Beard on the baseline. She misses it. And Tennessee rebounding out of that zone, trying to create a different kind of tempo.
And 11 turnovers now for Duke. Moore out top. Little high screen and roll. Eli steps out.
This is what Duke worked on yesterday, is off that high pick and roll that Tennessee runs. Nice block by Duke, but they run that high pick and roll, and Duke wants to trap out of that.
Alana Beard snuffing that shot. And perhaps some of the hopes for Tennessee, who trail by 15 when we come back to Raleigh. Stick around.
Many sunglasses may actually make it harder to see. And if they don't cut the road glare, it can be deadly. This is Battle Vision by Atomic Beam, inspired by U.S. soldiers that depend on clear vision to hit their targets.
Hi, I'm Hunter Ellis, and I wear Battle Vision by Atomic Beam for crystal clear vision when it matters most.
Battle Vision lets you see in high definition and even blocks dangerous glare, helping to keep you safe. Battle Vision's polarized lenses filter out reflected light, knocking down glare so you can see clearly in ultra-high definition. They help eliminate glare, enhance color, and provide UV protection for exceptional optical clarity. Battle Vision can be twisted and tortured without breaking, and now feature power hinges for ultimate flexibility. The lenses can withstand hard drops and knocks. Sand, rocks, glass, even metal are no match. Look, regular glasses just make everything darker. So whether you're out skiing or out on the open road, cut the glare and see with Battle Vision. From riding your motorcycle to riding your bike, playing tennis, or target practice, battle through the glare and see with sharp clarity. Similar sunglasses can cost hundreds. Call or click now and get Battle Vision by Atomic Beam for just $19.99. Order right now and we'll double this entire offer. Absolutely free. One to wear and a spare with no additional fees. 100% free. This is a TV-only special offer that is not available on Amazon. You'll also get a lifetime guarantee. That's 2 Battle Visions with lifetime guarantee for just $19.99. Remember, this TV-only offer is not available on Amazon. You must call or click now to order.
Call 1-800-643-7304. That's 1-800-643-7304. Call or visit getbattlevision.com. So call 1-800-643-7304. Order now.
The Jimmy V Women's Classic is presented by Pontiac, fuel for the soul.
Back here in Raleigh, North Carolina, the RB Center. On ESPN2, it's the Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Number 1 Duke leading number 2 Tennessee. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers and Doris Burke courtside. Alana Beard with 16 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals. She takes her role as the team leader very seriously. Listen up.
I just think I lead more by example than anything. I've always led by example, but the one aspect that I was definitely missing was being more vocal. And now I think I've put everything together, so I think I've become the leader that I wanted to become.
She's really worked on that. Last year she had to step up when Georgia Schweitzer graduated, was a 2-time ACC Player of the Year. And then last year, Beard getting ACC Player of the Year as a sophomore was huge. And she knew that she had to step up more verbal, but it was difficult for her, and she really worked on that.
Harding outside on the baseline to Whitley, and she knocks down the jump shot. She has 8 points.
Winter Whitley also has been a nice spark off the bench for this Duke Blue Devil team. But how about only 47 points right now for Connecticut? They had 46. The lowest they've ever scored was back in 1982 against Louisiana Tech. And only twice in 96 they scored 53 and 52 points, and that was against Virginia and Connecticut. But this is a very low-scoring game for a Tennessee team.
Yeah, it's not often you have to dig into the record book to see how few points the Vols have scored. Tillis missing the hook shot. Jackson and Moore on the move. This is Lawson. Jumps back behind the three-point line. And Whitley comes up with a strong rebound.
Not a bad shot by Kara Lawson. It doesn't fall for her. Tennessee trying to get the offensive boards.
Beard goes down to the floor. I'll tell you something a little bit more about the leadership of Alana Beard. Last year as a sophomore, very precocious in her own way. The day after the two players left the team, leaving Duke with just 8 players, Beard showed up wearing, you know, those fake ugly crooked teeth? And she was singing happy birthday to Isis Tillis, which really kind of diffused the whole situation and the mood. And it really bonded the girls together and made them realize, hey, we're in this as a unit. We've only got each other, and they went on a great run subsequently.
Well, they didn't lose a game in the ACC. 16-0.
Here's Beard. She's got candy for everybody. A 66-47 lead. Beard with 18. Tennessee has really got to do something now to change up the tempo.
Well, they've been trying to. They've been playing on the defensive end, switching things up, but they're going back to the man-to-man. They've tried some outside shots, had some good open looks. They opened up the second half as far as getting some dribble penetration. They were aggressive on the offensive boards, but right now, Duke is just controlling this tempo of the game.
Blue Devils looking to go into the books as the first winner in the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. And remember, if you want to make a donation, the number is 1-800-4-JIMMY-V, or log on to the website. It's www.jimmyv.org.
Tired of using the cup holder for your phone? You can't see it. You have to take it out to use it. And it's a dangerous distraction when you drive. Not anymore. Introducing the Cup Call Phone Mount, a brand new
So call 1-800-930-6038. Order now.
Fought with him. I died for him. I trusted him. I loved him. And me. What's your name, man?
Rated PG-13, now streaming on Disney+.
Mosh coming into the ball game.
You know, we mentioned before how really everybody's kind of getting behind it. The NFL officials, they've donated over $50,000. The officials today are going to make donations.
Hey, the landscape looks very good and promising for cancer research. 8.9 million people are alive today, the result of progress in cancer research. And actually the success rate and the survival rate has risen in the last 30 years from 38% to 59%. So there is plenty of hope on the horizon. 5:40 to go in the second half. Moore out top for Tennessee. Picked clean by the freshman Lindsey Harding. That's the 20th turnover. And here's Beard. Called for the travel, kind of got it in between steps.
This Tennessee team, which has been known to be explosive offensively and pass the ball well, obviously struggling in their offense today with their passing, their motion offense. But I was really surprised at Duke really coming into this game. I knew playing East Carolina wasn't a test as far as ability-wise, but just to play the game and get everything out of their system. But their quickness, Duke's quickness, is as good as anybody's in the country and playing the passing lanes.
Jackson stepping out. Good ball fake by Gwen Jackson. She has 12 in the ball game.
We've seen flashes of what Gwen Jackson is capable of doing in this game.
There's Whitley out top. At what point, and do you expect, or do you at all expect Coach Summit to extend that defense maybe to three-quarter or half-court? We'll talk about that in just a bit. First, folks, tomorrow night, the Davidson Wildcats try to top the Blue Devils at 7 Eastern time on ESPN2. As Duke lost 3 of their top scorers, included Jay Williams, now with the Chicago Bulls, and Mike Dunleavy with Golden State. And Davidson, meanwhile, lost 4 of their top 6 scorers.
But Duke's got Shavit Randolph, who had 23 points last night against Army.
Yeah, great effort. Another turnover. The 21st of the ball game by Tennessee, and Beard makes them pay.
Well, one of the reasons, too, that Tennessee can't press right now, Mark, even to change the tempo of the game, is because Tennessee is scoring so, or I should say Duke is scoring so well, but Tennessee is not scoring. And it's tough to press when you're not scoring.
Over and back violation, in part caused by the hustle from Lindsey Harding. I think you'd have to say that nobody expected Duke to be leading by this much at this juncture of the game, but with this type of defensive effort, you see why.
Well, just a lack of concentration right there. Lori Moore, I think she's going to be a star in NCAA women's basketball. I mean, she is a talented player. Just lost it right there. A little pressure by Harding, but Moore is going to be one of the top players in the country at that point guard position.
Harding out top, being guarded by Moore.
The hard part that people don't realize, these are kids. They're going to make mistakes. They're here for 4 years, and you're going to have games where you have bad games. And to play almost 40 games in a college season, if you go to the final game, which both these programs have done, I mean, there are going to be a few games in there that you just don't not only play well, but within the game, there's going to be moments that you make mistakes.
Well, the bar of expectation has risen so high at both these respective schools that one little slip up and the masses begin to wonder, hey, what's wrong? It's like, you know, Rome's on fire.
But what's been a luxury for the women's game too, Mark, is that there's been more games on TV and 29 games on ESPN, and they've done a tremendous job of not only on the regular season, but picking up the NCAA tournament and putting those finals on. So you're right, the expectations become higher when it is viewed by more people.
Don't forget that ESPN and ESPN2 is the exclusive home of the NCAA Women's Tournament. We'll be showing all 63 games through the tournament for you.
That's going to be exciting this year.
As UConn tries to repeat and defend its national title, it's going to be tough with 4 new starters. And they are up next on ESPN, taking on North Carolina State at 4:30 Eastern time, so stick around for that one.
Now the numbers may show that Alana Beard and Isis Tillis are scoring numbers for this Duke team, but everybody has really contributed in one way or another, even if the stats don't show it.
Here's some of the Duke fans in the background. We are in Raleigh, just down the road from campus. Beard inside with a great cut. Man, they moved that ball well. 22 points for Alana Beard.
Duke does such a good job opening up the middle. Again, Isis Tillis at 6'4" has the ability to go outside. One of the best passers as a big player in the country, and that's one of the advantages Gail Gessencourse has with her on the outside.
And throughout the years, here's what's happened when one meets two. Duke upset Tennessee in '99 in the East region.
They had a great backcourt with Nicole Erickson and Hillary Howard, and Michelle Van Gorp, who had transferred from Purdue at 6'6", really made a difference. And Gail Gessencourt, it was the year that both the men's and women's team were in the finals. You can see the #1 team has won 19 of the 34 meetings between when they've matched up at 1 and 2.
Daniel kicks it out. Beard does it all.
And Tennessee's kind of settling for the outside shots, but give credit to Duke as far as packing it in and not allowing the ball to get inside.
9 rebounds for Alana Beard, and one of the rare miscues by number 20, but she is on point. Tennessee down 72-51, but head coach Pat Summitt drawing on the wisdom that got her 6 national titles in her huddle a few moments ago. And first, though, UConn coming up next. Diana Taurasi had a breakout game last year when #1 met #2 in this forum.
Taurasi, a career high 32 points, was getting it done from inside and outside. They really forced her to try and take it inside and prove herself more. She proved she can play both inside, outside as far as scoring-wise. And Tennessee, one of the few times in a long time with this kind of lead by an opponent.
UConn taking on NC State coming up next on ESPN at 4:30 Eastern time as Taurasi tries to lead her young team through the landmines of the season beginning today. Nice defensive play that time. Snuffed out by Moshe.
Good follow-up by Tennessee. Shayna Moshe probably doesn't get a lot of credit as a senior 5'10". Boy, one of the most versatile athletes on this floor. 2 years ago, she filled in for Alana Beard when Beard broke her finger. And in 4 games, she was unbelievable. In the 3-game period, she scored 106 points, averaging 28 points.
Speaks to the depth and talent they have at Duke. Let's go to courtside to Doris Burke.
Well, Mark, you mentioned our next game coming up featuring Connecticut and North Carolina State. What's interesting is Beard and Taurasi are the top 2 vote getters in almost every National Player of the Year balloting system in the preseason. They're an interesting contrast. You mentioned Beard is very humble, self-effacing, where Taurasi approaches the game in a very brash fashion. Both approaches effective. Their respective coaches would make the case for either. And I'd love to know, which player do you think is the best?
Season's not over.
Ooh.
I wait till the end.
Gonna make us choose a little early, huh?
It's like picking Bird and Magic their senior years.
Flip a coin for me. Hey, you know, Taurasi's from Chino, California. That's how they get down out there, you know. Tennessee down with a lot of work to do. 72-53. McDaniel out top. Look at Duke defend on the wings and out top. Whistle inside. Still trying to figure out this call.
We talked about in the beginning of this game the defensive pressure that Tennessee puts on their opponents, playing the passing lanes, being aggressive, and as an opponent trying to go backdoor. Well, in this game, it's been the reversal. Duke has been the ones that have been aggressive on the defensive end and making it difficult for Tennessee to set any kind of picks.
Well, looks like we got a shot clock problem. It didn't run, but not sure how much Duke is going to need a shot clock tomorrow as the men, number 6 in the country, take on the Davidson Wildcats on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific time. Duke replacing a lot of big guns from a season ago, including Williams and Dunleavy, as they're going to run the clock down to 9 seconds to go. Stop. Freeze it. There you go. As Beard gets a nice round of applause from the Duke fans that made the trip down the highway. She exits with 22 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, and 5 steals. She is our Pontiac Player of the Game.
The fact that she played with such a smile today, a relief, but again, very much a team player and everybody else getting involved.
Lawson hoisted up a little bit late. She got it off in time.
Hey, Lawson is such a pressure player. She can knock those shots down. If it was a closer game, it wouldn't have surprised me with that shot going in.
Look at those impressive numbers. Our Pontiac Player of the Game, Alana Beard.
We're just waiting for the triple doubles.
You hear the chant? Duke fans chanting Player of the Year. So you know what? Hey, Maybe we can tell Doris that, yeah, it is Beard. We'll make our call now. The Duke fans have certainly voiced their opinions.
Now let's go to Hartford and see what happens there. But again, there's some other fine players out there. There's Chantel Anderson from Vanderbilt, 6'6", one of the top post players, and Latoya Thomas. Mazzanti from Penn State is having an incredible scoring year.
Harding.
You know, there's still some names out there. Let's wait till the end of the season, see what happens. And there's a low page from Alana Beard. Lindsey Harding taking that same move that Beard was using earlier in the game, except going to the right.
Misty Bass checking in for Whitley. So Duke well on their way here in this, the Jimmy V Women's Classic presented by Pontiac. Duke leading 74-53. And don't forget, folks, if you'd like to make a contribution to defeating cancer, dial 1-800-4-JIMMY-V or log on to our website. It's www.jimmyv.org. Zolman quickly down court for the Vols. Pass clearing a path for the rebound. Don't forget, coming up next, the defending champs, UConn. A lot of questions begging there as to how Junior Ariema will be able to poke and prod his youngsters and mold them into a new group. 4 new starters there.
Well, he'll have some rocky roads going along, but not too many people are going to feel sorry for him, that's for sure.
You think so? Pat Summitt won't, that's for sure.
But again, I go back to Pat Summitt, and you look at the schedule. I mean, after last year and their season of 29-5, and even making it to the Final Four, but they just continue to play everybody. And they have one of the toughest schedules around. They play George Washington, Louisiana Tech, SC, Stanford, Texas, Notre Dame, Connecticut, ODU. They've played Oklahoma, they've played Duke, and it's got to be the toughest conference, or I should say schedule, and yet...
Do you like that approach?
That's how teams get better. Why does everybody want to play Tennessee? Yeah. Why does Duke want to play Tennessee?
Foul on the play, and don't forget, coming up next on ESPN2, it's the 60,000 Budweiser Grand Prix. Penn National, that's coming up next right here on ESPN2. Well, what do you say to a player that stuffs the stat sheet like Alana Beard just a few moments ago? Don't get hurt on the way to the bus? I mean, come on.
Well, the other thing with Alana Beard, she's only going to get better. She'll get more confident. Her players will have more confidence in her. And there you see Monique Curry. I mean, how about Curry? They're going to be so much stronger next year. And again, you talked about the freshmen coming in, Brittany Hunter out of North Carolina and Allison Bales at 6'6" from Ohio. 2 really top players, but Monique Curry back, and she won the ACC MVP tournament player last year.
Harding out hustling Rawson for the loose ball, and it's out of bounds.
And Curry had 9 double-doubles last year. I mean, this is a player that can get it done. And to play with a player like Alana Beard only makes you better. When you play with great players, they make your other players better. And that's what Gail Guest, of course, has talked about Alana Beard, and that's what Gino Ariema has said about Diana Taurasi.
Zolman outside on the way, no good. Mosh with a nice rebound. Under a minute to go now in the ball game, 76-55. And this is the inaugural Jimmy V Women's Classic from the RBC Center in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Well, Tennessee started out like gangbusters in the beginning of this game. They were up 10-4, and just the defense by Duke really changed the pace of this game, and Tennessee could not hit the shots, and they couldn't rebound and couldn't take care of the basketball. What else?
Well, that's a pretty good checklist right there. That covers it.
I think Pat Summitt will let them know about it, too.
Yeah, she's the expert at going back to the lab and retooling and refueling. Well, you look at the sidelines, and the truth finally comes out. Those are 2 players that told me just a few moments before the game that it was just another game. I don't think so.
No.
1 versus 2. Duke defeating Tennessee emphatically, 76-55. As the 2 brain trusts meet in a show of mutual respect. Well, you have a feeling you'll be hearing from these 2 a tournament time in March. It's the Jimmy V Classic presented by Pontiac. Coming up next, number 5, UConn taking on NC State. That's over on ESPN. For Ann Myers, Doris Burke, and our entire crew, I'm Mark Jones. So long.